Joining me now in studio, it is Ciara Brennan of Happy Food at Home. And I just have to say, I love the name, first of all. And you are a vegan, and it's all vegan food.
All vegan food. And I always use the word plant-based because I think vegan has some kind of negative connotations to it. A lot of people go vegan, and they'll just back away. So I use plant-based, but I think it's more recognised when we say vegan, isn't it, really?
I think, yeah, especially now with the whole veganuary movement that takes place in January, and I think veganism is obviously growing by the day.
Yeah.
More and more people I know, and they're just choosing plant-based and vegan lifestyle. I think a lot of people are saying for healthy reasons, also wanted to cut down on meat. For there's so many different reasons out there, and I think everyone has a different one. But I guess a lot of people will recognise you from Limerick Market.
Yes, yeah.
You're there every weekend.
I'm there upstairs on the Little Top Cafe. Yeah, we're there every Saturday morning. Yeah, from very early on.
We it's an early start.
We set up at 5:30, and our first customers come in at 7:30.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long day too, isn't it?
It's no, but it's great. The energy in the milk market is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's a great place to work, I have to say.
It's so much fun, actually. I do love getting my trips in there. It's like there's so much to do, so much to see. You meet so many people.
Great energy, and then there's always something new to look at.
Yeah.
And it is keeping up with the times. So we've got great new stalls like with foraging and lots of things are happening all the time. So yeah,
it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Now, do take me back to getting into the food industry, and I suppose I know you went from vegetarian to vegan. Can I say, were you ever a meat eater?
Oh no, I ate meat. I was forced to eat meat when I was younger.
Typically grown up like.
Yeah, your meat and your two veg, that's what you have. So my mum was giving me everything that you normally have. So spaghetti bolognese, pork chops, all the usual type of staple dishes. But I just couldn't eat it.
Okay.
So even as a very, very young child, she remembers feeding me spaghetti bolognese, and it just went straight back across the room. So she said she'd never force feed me again.
Okay.
I found it very hard to eat pork. Pork chops
really
and things
heavy,
like that were just. It was the thought of eating animals and the texture just didn't suit me.
Okay.
Now, I studied in hotel management as we go on into, when I hit in my 20s. I had to eat meat. There is no way you could train as a chef in Switzerland and say, oh no, I'm not eating meat, because they'd throw you across the floor, because, that's what you would do, especially in Switzerland. It was serious.
Really good meat though, I suppose, as well. And
really good meat, absolutely. I always liked really good meat, but
I think as well, I find
really good meat.
When I'm in a restaurant and I'm ordering something, I'll always ask, what would you recommend? And I suppose you kind of, when you ask them what they'd recommend, it's because you have assumed they've eaten everything on the menu, and they can actually say, well, this is what my preferred dish is.
Yeah. And do you know what? So many people don't do that. Sorry, after working in the industry for many years, because I studied in Shannon.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't even ask you that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's just me, so.
Yeah, no, but it's a really good question to ask, because, sorry, I've got a cough, because the chefs will always say, look, push these dishes, or this is fresh in. They'll always tell the staff, the front of line staff, should I say, what they should be pushing and what is really good. So it's a really good question to ask.
Okay, that's okay. So then bring us on to becoming a vegetarian and stepping away then from the meat
So
world.
I think as I got older, and my mum was sick of finding, everything on the floor. So, if I was given a pork chop, I'd chop it up and push it on the floor, and even the dog mightn't have eaten it all. So it got to a stage where I just said, look, I have to just go vegetarian. Now, vegetarian back in those days, you still ate even white chicken, fish.
Okay.
Yeah. And because there was no such thing as a pescatarian.
Yeah.
This is only just recent, really. So I would be eating that, but I would be eating a lot of veg. Always loved my veg. My mum reckoned I saw a dead pheasant on a table, and I was against eating meat or any type of animal, really. Now, it's very hard to associate cheese with animals, because it comes in a nice, processed packet and tastes delicious. So you never associate that with a cow or a sheep or a goat or something. So I just became a vegetarian. Myself and my friend actually were vegetarian for years and years. And then obviously when I went to Shannon, I had to taste food, so I would have to taste food and make sure that everything was cooked properly, and went and ran my own kitchen. Then when I qualified, I was working in Switzerland and London, And I just hated cooking 20 million steaks a night. And not 20 million now, but you know.
I suppose as someone who was a vegetarian having to cook steak all the time.
And lamb used to really upset me. You know, so if I was cooking lamb, that would upset me. And I just said, you know what, I don't think I can do this. So the repetitiveness, I never liked anyway. I never liked the production of anything. I'm not really good. I'm really good at creation. I'm not good at doing the same thing, you know, in uniform. Never been my forte. So I moved into HR, moved into training and development, got another degree in training, started teaching full time, still teach now. And in 2016, I just said to my daughter, I think I'd like to start going vegan, you know, what do you think? So we started to transition, and it took us nearly 2 years to transition fully.
Okay, interesting.
Now fully, because we went for ethical reasons. So we're talking shampoo, makeup, leather, getting rid of anything that's associated with animals. The diet was easy because I never brought red meat into the house. But Shane and my daughter would eat sausages, she would eat chicken, things like that. So it was just replacing that.
I like though that you took time, because I think that's the thing with a lot of people when they make a diet or lifestyle change, they just do it straight away cold turkey, and then excuse the animal pun there.
Yeah.
But they just do it, and they like that they don't survive or they don't last, or 6 weeks
later. They don't.
It's
like anything. You have to take it step by step, and you
really
have to find replacements. So you know, when I do cooking demos, or when I'm starting this course that we'll be talking about, it will be literally about how to transition safely, and how to transition in a way that you can actually really enjoy it, because it is a big thing. If you're thinking, okay, I'm going home and I'm going to have my bacon, my cabbage and my potato, and somebody says you're now going vegan, and you go, okay, I'm taking away the bacon.
I can't put butter into my spuds unless I get vegan butter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know, and people even struggle with, how do I cook my sprouts at Christmas if I'm vegan? There are so many different things that happen. How do I have spaghetti bolognese? You can have all of those things. You just do it in a different way, and you come in from a different angle then. So you don't start with your meat. Yeah. You know, you start with something else.
A totally new mind, I think. And as well, I suppose, breaking habit. Another thing I suppose you've probably noticed is, you were saying a few years ago, probably or back when you were younger, being vegetarian, it was probably the options weren't really there. Whereas nowadays we have vegetarian restaurants, we have vegan restaurants. Nearly everywhere now has a vegan and vegetarian option. So it's incredible to see that so many places are getting on board with it, and now there's actually options for people.
There is options. Now the options aren't great, so we need to start working on those. And that's one of the things. I'm working with a restaurant in town, and I'm going to be, you know, creating recipes for them, and particularly them. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be pushing, because I think if I've had all this experience of eating vegan and vegetarian food for a very long time, you know, I need to be able to share that with people. But if you had said to me 2 years ago even there would be a vegan option in every restaurant in Limerick, I would have laughed.
Yeah, I know it is, isn't it? But
and there's an option. There is an option, which
you
is
just sometimes have to ask. It's not always on the menu.
It's not always on the menu, but you do. And also, you know, we need to increase what options we have on the menus. And people will not go. I always think, okay, if I'm going to a festival or something, I'll say, okay, so maybe 1 in 8 will be vegan, or 1 in 10 will be vegan. That's how I calculate it. But even if I have a family and there is hot dogs and chips beside me, and there's, I don't know, a curry on the other side of me, out of that family, 1 will eat with me.
Okay.
Even if they're not vegan, or if they're not, you know, they just like the look of my food and the colour and the salads and everything else that it's got to offer. So, you know, that's the way we go. So we can't open up a vegan restaurant, I don't think, in Limerick. I don't think we're ready for, well, there have been and hasn't. I don't think we're ready for that footfall just yet. But I just think having a good portion of vegan options everywhere.
Absolutely.
Because you can always add the meat to it.
And then you can try it. I think I've actually seen people do that now, buying vegan meals in at festivals and at the markets, and then throwing in their own meat at home.
That happens to me all the time. They come over to me, they grab their salad, and then they're over at the meat, and they're putting in their meat or whatever it might be. And I would encourage that, because it's still, you know, increasing into the supply and the demand of we're eating more veg. I know a lot of people who just do vegan Thursdays, or just do a vegan Monday, or, you know, things like that. I'm just coming from Limerick City, or Limerick Senior College there, and they're doing once a month now. I go in and I do my plant-based stall. I was there today because they have Student Week and Wellbeing Week as well. So
super, absolutely incredible.
Thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right. So what I'm doing is I've started a new private face group page called Cooking with Ciara, funnily enough. So the first week, I've got 4 weeks planned. The first week is going to be pestos, dressings, dips, pâtés, things like that. Lots of condiments so that we can put things together. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to do a really quick mayo. I can't really read anything, so I hope I'm... Okay, no, it's cool. All right, so I'm going to do a quick mayo. So this is obviously without eggs because I'm more plant-based. Really, really easy. So if you can get yourself something like a magic bullet or a Nutri-Bullet or anything like that, I don't normally like using these things on live shows or cooking demos because they are quite noisy, so I'm going to minimize it. But this is so quick, wait till you see, it's absolutely super quick. So all you need is 1 cup of sunflower oil and half a cup of soya milk. Now you'll already start to see, you see the way it's starting to bubble away and it's starting to react, the two elements are reacting with each other. Don't use any other milk is my advice. However, you will be able to use other milks with other oils, but just for this recipe, just use the actual soya milk. 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and you can use white wine vinegar, you can use different vinegars, but I think the apple cider vinegar is the best, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're just going to whiz this on, and this is going to be really quick, so just excuse the noise for a sec. And that's it, done, right? So this is, look, as you can see there, your mayo is already done, and how quick is that? So why would you even bother buying mayo if you can get it like this? So put it into a bowl, and this is just your normal mayo, and then you can start flavouring it. So you can do lots of different flavours, like you can add in some roast peppers, you could add in some sun-dried tomatoes. I just like a really simple flavour. So I add in a little bit of lemon juice, just maybe half a lemon juice, depending on how much you're putting in. I just put in the pit there, that's okay. And a little bit of dill, because dill, you can really get a load of nice dill at the moment. So that is your mayo, guys. And again, you know, taste it and see what works, what doesn't work. I did a lovely one with some roasted tomatoes, and just mush them up and put them in there, and the flavour was delicious. And then I added some basil into it, so it's just absolutely perfect. But do season it, always season. So I would always say, any recipes that I do, I always make sure that you can do it as, this is a guideline for you. You know, it's not necessarily what you need to have. But look, there's a nice creamy, and it's a light mayo. And when you eat it, it's delicious. So I do some lovely carrot burgers, and it's really, really nice with that. So with that, what you can do is a fresh salad, right? So, and again, we want to make it easy. So I'm saying to everybody on this cooking group, we're going to do everything under 30 minutes. Nothing is going to take any time. Now, I might say to you, put something into the oven and roast it, but really that's not cooking. That's just a matter of putting things in. So get some carrots. I've got some different coloured carrots here that I got from a local shop called the Urban Co-op. You can get it from, I get it from some of my friends in the milk market, because we all deliver to neighbour food, so we always try and meet up and we can actually have some nice carrots. So you want some colours, and a courgette. Peel into long strips, and again, the peeler that I'm using here, I've probably had since I was in Switzerland, which is very old, but it's my favourite peeler. I find these are the really, really good peelers, because you can do a lot with them, and they give you long strips. And I think when you're eating, especially plant-based food, or for a better word, vegan food, I'm not mad about that word, you want there to be colour in your food. You want to be able to look at it and go, oh my God, I can't wait to eat that, because it just looks so delicious. So this is a purple carrot. This is probably my favourite colour. So I'm just peeling this now. So I'm just showing you there We're going to make it into something delicious, but already the colour is getting there. Now I'm probably going to have to adjust my camera, so you're going to have to excuse me for the first run, because when you're on your own, I've got Val O'Connor here watching me to say, tell me what to do properly for next time, so she can do it from a good eye. So just put them into some kind of nice shape, nice display. Oh, my camera's gone, hang on. Are we back? Okay. If I told you what was holding up my camera, you wouldn't believe me. So this is all my different vegetables just peeled very, very gently. I have some pomegranates here, which I'm going to put in, and I want to put in some of this mayo, just a tiny bit. Now I would also probably put just a tiny bit of oil, and again with this you want to use some really, really good olive oil. I got this olive oil in Country Choice. Peter Ward was making sure that I didn't leave the shop without buying that, and he was right. And then you just have some salt and pepper, and you just have a really, really delicious, colourful salad. Eat that with a piece of sourdough bread. I'm going to eat it today with some fermented foods. Val O'Connor, you'll be very proud. So I was doing a lot of fermenting with Val O'Connor during the week. And we might get you to do a guest appearance on my cooking show, which I think would be brilliant, on my cooking group. Or just have some salad, but have something fresh and nice and delicious. So that's your first one there. So I hope that is appealing. The second thing that I'm going to do, and I will take pictures of these guys, so I'll put them all on my group and they will come along with the recipe, okay? So you'll have everything in detail. The second thing I'm going to do, again, I'm going to get this, my best friend out. I'm going to do I suppose what I call a sun-dried stroke roasted tomato dip. So what I've done with these tomatoes is, literally I had them left over in a bowl because I'm going shopping today, because I'm going to be cooking, because I've got a few orders going out now in the next few days. Just throw them into a roast tin. If they're big, cut them in half and put a little bit of balsamic vinegar, any balsamic vinegar, make sure it's a little thick, and some garam masala and salt and pepper. That's all you need to flavour them up. Now, probably roast them on a low enough heat. So I did these for about an hour at 150 because they were so small. But on a Sunday night, what I'll do is I'll get whatever I've got left, whether it be butternut squash or any roasted veggies, loads of tomatoes, and I'll put them in the oven on a Sunday night for about 3 hours at 150. And what happens when you roast them when they're that low is that the juice stays inside. So the outside gets roasted, but everything gets juicy inside, and it gives off the most beautiful flavour, no matter what you put in there. Make sure there's a lot of tomatoes in there, because you want some good substance to it. So we're going to just put these in here. What I've got in here already is some sun-dried tomatoes and some roast peppers. Again, I'm getting them from my local supermarket. You can, if you want, get your peppers, put them on in the oven and roast them and then peel them, or you can put them on the fire and peel them. To me, that is just too much work, and that takes the joy of cooking out of things when you're doing those type of tasks. The other advantage of getting these jars is, what I do is I recycle all my jars. So I spent a bit of time over the weekend scraping everything off and sterilising them. And you get an empty jar then, and then you can put your pesto or your pate or anything like that in there. So all my customers get these, and if they can give them back to me so we can recycle them, fantastic. But also it's really nice to leave a little present on somebody's doorstep with something, especially wild garlic pesto. Wild garlic is in season at the moment, so it's great to be able to have that. So what we're going to do, so I put, let's say, a jar of roast pepper and sun-dried tomato, and I'm going to put these tomatoes in as well. This makes a delicious pasta sauce, as you can imagine. Can you imagine just putting in some extra herbs into there? You can also poach things in there. anything you want. So if you are making things with other things apart from plant-based, you could poach things in there. It freezes really, really well. You can make your lasagnas with it. You can just have it simply sprinkled over some nice kale leaves, which is what I'm going to do with this one here. So I'm just going to put that on quickly. Sorry about that. So that is that one there. Again, add some fresh basil to it, add some roasted garlic. You could roast the garlic with your tomatoes. And you end up with a really creamy, rich sauce that will last forever, right? So that is really, really nice. I'm just going to taste it because I haven't as of yet. Oh, you see, I love those flavours. I absolutely adore those flavours. So what's really nice with that, one of my favourite dishes, is aubergine sliced really thinly and just grilled with a little bit of that. And then we have what we call like the coconut cheeses with spring onion and a little bit of feta, mint. Gorgeous. I hope I am still on, am I? Okay. Still going. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so my next one then is, it's a kale salad. So my friend Joanna was asking me to do a kale salad with spinach. Loads of kale just coming out now, especially some baby kale. You can get the top baby kale leaves. So again, this is locally grown, locally foraged. You can buy it in various different places. All of the organic veg you can get from Neighbour Food. So please do go on and have a look. Now I know it's closed, but it will be open up again. And you can just chop your kale quite finely. Can anybody give me a sign? Because I need to know that everything's going okay here. With a little bit of olive oil. And what we're going to do is we're just going to massage that to tenderize it. Now, because this kale is so new, you don't need to do that. So just a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and I'm going to add some coconut to this. And we might put in a little, sorry, it's so hard to read from here, it's silly. We might put in some red onion. Now you don't have to do this. Sometimes what I do with my red onion is I soak it in some red wine vinegar and it gives it a really, really sour, distinct flavour. But sometimes that can be overpowering as well. So I'm going to chop up a tiny, and do it really, really finely. I don't tend to cook a lot with onions when I'm selling my food because they are very acidic and they can make food either go off or taste differently. So, but I love them and they have a beautiful colour to them as well. So I'm going to add in, I put in my coconut, my berries. I love this salad with berries and coconut. And I'm just going to do a few strawberries. I have a grape here as well. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of this on the side. What I would normally do, but I don't have any at the moment, I need to go and get some, is get a nice piece of sourdough bread and put that on top. And then you have that beautiful salad there. So any questions, give me a shout later on if you want to know about my food group. And I'll see you the next time. Thanks for tuning in.
the tins that everyone's stockpiling at the moment of all these chickpeas and all these kidney beans,
Yeah.
and all these mixed beans. I think this is exactly
Oh,
what
I'm going to make this one work for me.
I'd say everyone's going to be vegan by the end of it because everyone's eating all these chickpeas and beans and everything.
Yeah, everybody's stockpiling on tins. So
vegan food, pretty much.
So I'm going to be quids in. I
Already.
hope. Yeah.
Where can we find you on social media?
So on social media at Happy Food at Home. I'm actually on Twitter, but funny story was they asked me for my birthday, so I put my birthday of 2016 in, and now they've told me I'm too young. I just turned 50 last week, so they're telling me I'm too young to be on Twitter, so I have to phone them or something and get that back on. But I'm on everything else, so Facebook and Instagram.
And as I said, the market every Saturday upstairs.
Every Saturday upstairs. I'm in Ennis on a Friday, in Mary I on a Thursday, and once a month in Senior College at the moment as well. And I do a huge amount of catering, and I've got 2 weddings this summer.
2 vegan weddings, amazing.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
So
you
maybe
are kept
a third.
very busy.
Maybe a third, yeah. And I do the Pig and Porter. I do all the big festivals,
yeah.
Riverfest and all of that as well.
Yeah. It's really exciting actually now.
Yeah.
I think once the summer kicks in, we've loads to look forward to.
Yeah.
Ciara,
hopefully.
Yeah,
this thing going on.
We're going to get through that, I think. Anyways.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'd say you could do like Facebook Lives without showing us how to use all these tins that we've all stockpiled.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be lots of that coming on board.
Brilliant.
So keep an eye out. So thank you very much.
And thanks for talking to us here on the Limerick Post Show.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you. Bye.